Hey people, it's me doing a night walk. Gotta go by the store. So sorry about the moving camera. Walking through the neighborhood. Gotta take the back streets to get to the store. Beautiful out here, man. Don't really do much here during the day. It's too hot where I live. During the day, way too hot, man. You're looking at an average temperature in the day about 42 with Humidex. But gotta love it. Anyway, gotta see some fancy disco lights. Great neighborhood. Ooh. Anyway, I've been seeing some stuff online. Seizure warning. I've been seeing some stuff online. They've been talking about the third temple. Now, what you have to understand is, with the building of the third temple, there are things that are required. Number one, you need a red heifer. But buenas noches. You need a red heifer. That was sacrificed. That was sacrificed on July 4th, I believe, the first week in July. So that was an official sacrifice. It was according to the Torah, but not to the Talmud, which is the oral Torah. But the Torah trumps the Talmud. It's one thing you have to realize. So that was an official sacrifice. Moreover, the ashes were collected. And since the ashes were collected, the sacrifices happened. Now, as for the temple itself, here's what's being brought into question. You have the home of Islam, which is Saudi Arabia. Forgive the darkness, I'm walking through a dark spot, so bear with me. Saudi Arabia is the home of Islam. It is a home of Islam. And the Saudis have came out and publicly stated that the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock are not the mosques as spoken of in the Quran, which makes sense. Because in the Quran it said that the Prophet Muhammad would pray in Mecca in the morning and travel to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the furthest mosque, in the evening, which is impossible considering they're thousands of miles away, and this was before airplane. Now, that brings in a whole can of worms. So now if it cannot be the mosque as spoken of in the Quran where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven, it cannot be. And moreover, they're saying that even the Quran says that land belongs to the Jews. They call it Judea, the land of the Jews. They even outlined, there was an imam that outlined the territory, Lebanon, Syria, across all the way to Sinai, which is in Egypt, which Israel gave to Egypt for peace. There is no Palestine. That opens up everything for the actual temple. But the temple is not what's required. No, all that's required is a tabernacle, a tent. And in the Torah, God often spoke of a tent, not a tabernacle. That's not just. He often talked about a tent, not a building. So, they could raise a tent. They could house the ark. And they could begin sacrifices again while the temple is being built. All of those are possibilities. But the most important thing you have to understand, the sacrifice happened. The ashes were collected. And now the temple will be built. So just some more stuff that I want to get into. I'm here at the store, so I'm going to put you on a brief hold. Then I'll get back to you and we'll continue our walk and talk. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Where was I? Oh, yeah, more news. Now, there's other stuff that needs to be done. One is the temple. Everyone's hyper-focused on the temple. Everyone's hyper-focused on the temple. Here's what you're missing. What needs to be done is a confirmed covenant. Now, the Bible, the gospel says he's not going to make a new covenant. No. He's going to strengthen an existing covenant. Israel, along with Arabian nations, have decided they're working on a peace deal to split up Israel and Palestine for a two-state solution. Again, seizure warning. Two-state solution. That is the first step. That right there is your first step. Because without that, you have nothing. Because he will confirm the covenant. And that brings in the wrath of God, which places punishment on anyone, on all who he sees having something to do with the division of his land. You are, he said, what was it said? Forgive me, I'm paraphrasing a bit. But he's not, because they are breaking the covenant. They are changing the covenant. He never changed the covenant. The land belongs to him. It was given to the Jews. And they have no authority to divide his land, which he calls his land. And that will bring the wrath of God upon mankind, especially countries like Canada, Australia, England. Right now, what you're seeing a complete Islamic invasion of, that's what you're seeing right now. So that's going to bring the wrath of God upon them. That's the first step. Then the ashes come into play. Followed by the temple and temple sacrifices. Now they give a deadline, a timeline. Forgive me, passing by a church. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right, sorry about that. Just had to pass by a church. I wanted you guys to hear some of that. It's good for your soul. Anyway, so that's already taking place. Everything's in place. It's going to be October of next year, of 2026, when they are going to finalize this two-state solution. I suggest you look it up. There's an imam. Forgive me, I can't pronounce his name, nor can I remember. But he was from Saudi Arabia. And he was stating facts about Israel and about the so-called Palestinians, which are Philistine. And the word Philistine means invader. The Philistines are not native to that land, as he stated. Nor are they Arabs. Arabs come from the Arabian Peninsula. Muslims are not Arabs. The Arabs are Muslims. Some are. They're Arab Christians as well. But Muslims are not Arabs. Remember that. Just as not all Africans are black. Egyptians are Africans. Remember that. So, They're going to divide the land. And that is your warning. That is where God's wrath is going to come in next year. So be forewarned, because you are going to have the hardest years of your life. But that's where you need to put your faith. Put your faith in God, because He's the only one that can see you through it. Remember, the Jews spent 40 years in the wilderness. Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days. It's always 40. Always 40. And God provided. God provided for them. So, have faith. Have faith. Be strong. And know that the only thing will get you out of this is your faith. Remember, there are no truths. There's only truth. There are not many variations of the truth. There's only one truth. And it's up to you to accept it. I can point you to the way, but I can't make you accept it. That's on you. Anyway, I'm going to pass by, listen to some church music, and go home. This is my 2 cents for the night. Have a good one.